The Desire to Believe, written by Sister Darlene Nyanyi, read by Sister Roseanne Champagne. For most people who suffer from poor self-esteem, standing in front of a full-length mirror can be an act of supreme bravery. This was particularly true for me in the fall of 1978. Entering into a woman's clothing store near my college campus, I had no way of knowing that what was about to transpire would be a watershed moment which would change the trajectory of my life. I was about to go from aimless wandering to the pursuit of purposeful, godly intention. Earlier that week, I had attended a meeting with my academic advisor. As a sophomore in college on academic probation, I was advised to improve my grades, ace my midterms, or my time at the university was over. My attendance throughout freshman year had been sporadic. My efforts to do any schoolwork was minimal, and my mind was distracted from academics onto other, less than desirable, extracurricular activities. I was failing and had no motivation to alter my course. I entered the changing room, as I always did, with great trepidation. After wrestling into and out of what I hoped would be a new outfit to brighten my spirits, I piled the rejected clothes onto the floor. My body had changed considerably as the result of my choosing unhealthy ways of coping with the stresses of college life. Through squinting, fearful eyes, I carefully observed in the mirror what I had been avoiding for so long. Under the glare of fluorescent light, I saw someone I truly didn't recognize, someone whose face looked weary and whose life was adrift. Who was this person so broken and so lost looking back at me? And how did she get here? An overwhelming grief came over me as I felt compelled to kneel on the carpeted floor. Lowering my gaze downward, away from the reflection of that cruel mirror, I cried out, "God, if you are real, if you even exist, please help me." In that moment, I desired to believe. It was a simple act, the hope to believe in God, but that simple cry set me on a new course. Days later, I met a young man. He was a member of the Church of Jesus Christ. He told me of this gospel and invited me to come and see for myself. God opened the door for me to find a better way. A year later, I was baptized. 3 years later, we were married. 40 years later, we are still one, serving God together in His church. Many years after that fateful day, I listened intently to a deeply impactful sermon at Branch 1 in Detroit, Michigan, based on Alma 32:27. But behold, if ye will awake and arouse your faculties, even to an experiment upon my words, and exercise a particle of faith, yea, even if ye can no more than desire to believe, let this desire work in you, even until ye believe in a manner that ye can give place to a portion of my words. I immediately recalled myself kneeling on that changing room floor, crying out with the desire, the hope, the need to believe. And in His infinite grace and mercy, He heard me. And now I believe.